everyone to Real Chill Conversations. You have Dominique here and Brenna.
Hey guys, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. And today I did want to bring up this conversation about breadcrumbing because I want to know y'all opinion.
Yeah.
What y'all think about this? So make sure you're interacting with us. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel on Real Chill Conversations, liking it. I mean, it doesn't cost, it's free.
Yeah.
So that's the way you can support us. So today I want to talk about why do some men and women, because
hmm
women do it too,
Yeah.
breadcrumb. Um, and women or men are the ones that are left to pick up pieces. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a very manipulative and very controlling way to try to keep your hands on somebody or keep your sights on somebody without doing all the right things consistently to have them, in your life. When people are really into each other and start making sacrifices and going through the process and making the decisions to be together and all of that, there's a certain way that you conduct yourself. And part of that way of conducting yourself is being consistent with your behavior, with your words, with your thoughts, I mean, if you have a specific love language. But when you're breadcrumbing, you're leaving little bits and pieces to just be picked up and pecked from the other person. And when I say that it's manipulative and it's controlling, because you might go, let's say, like you go 3 weeks without really communicating with your supposed significant other, right? And you've let them know that, hey, we need to talk, and they dismiss the fact that you need to have a conversation and whatever, and just aren't listening to where you're coming from. But then they, show up at your doorstep with a bouquet of beautiful flowers and want to take you on a nice dinner and have gifts and stuff for you, and then start love bombing you. So you feel like, oh, okay, like this person really does care about me, this person really is into me, he really is feeling me. I guess, he really was just busy with his job or whatever his excuse was, for leaving those crumbs behind and treating her the way that she did. So in her mind, if you go through this enough times, you start to realize and recognize, oh, he's playing with me. Like he's not serious, because if he was serious, he would be consistent. And so to me, that's a reason why some went women breadcrumb and some men breadcrumb, because they're just not ready to be consistent with their behavior that it takes to sustain a relationship.
And I'm glad you mentioned those excuses because to me, it's like this is where I go back to saying some men don't even really be into you.
Right.
So, but they breadcrumb you just to keep you as an option,
Yep.
and I mean, women do it too, like I said, vice versa.
Right.
So let's make that clear. Um, have you ever experienced it?
Yeah. Yeah, I've experienced it, and I've experienced it to the
How did you know you were being breadcrumbed?
because it was the same kind of situation was repeating itself when it would come to like certain things. And then I would state how I felt about it and make my, opinion known, and made him well aware of the situation. And like, let's say if it would come to like borrowing my car, and I have to work that day, you have to take me to work, I got to be picked up, I get off at such and such time, you got to be there to pick me up. And after multiple occasions of not picking me up on time, I stopped allowing him to have the option, to have the access to be able to use my car. And it was like once I cut that off, when I cut off that option to the access, then he started giving me all kinds of attention, all kinds of wanting to hang around, wanting to hang out, wanting to spend time, wanting to do things, all the things that he should have been doing the whole time while he was busy, riding around in my car. Well, who knows, whoever else.
But
And
I think those things are just to get you back to the spot. I think they're done temporarily.
yeah,
Because I'm not going to say I've never been there. Like, I've been there.
yeah,
And what I've experienced, some of the benefits that, right, like some of the things, I'm sorry, some of the things that are being done, it's like, I'll do this for a little while,
hmm,
but then I'll go back to being,
right,
myself.
right. I flat
Like,
to where I was at.
so I turn a blind eye to the situation. Um, so I had to start asking myself, why do I allow this?
Yeah,
You know, I would send a text out. I wouldn't get no response immediately or even 1 or 2 hours later, but it would be like hours later.
yeah. I mean, that's
So it would basically take him the whole day to even respond or even take my concern serious.
right. Not
Um,
you immediately.
I don't think he even cared. He was just giving me enough
Right.
pieces just to keep me around. I had to really do some self revelation to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really did. Like, why am I entertaining this?
Exactly. And
Like, I want a man that's serious about the relationship.
right,
I want a man that I wanted a man that was ready to commit. I wanted the same energy that I was given.
right.
And it seems like when somebody is giving you breadcrumbs, you're not getting that. You're
You're
not getting all of that.
you're not. They're not giving you the same energy that you're giving out. But at the same time, one of the reasons why it's so selfish is because, it's really just bottom line, it's really rude to play with people's time. Like don't play
Very, very rude.
and don't play with my time. If you're serious about this, if you're not serious about wanting to be, in this situation, you can easily see yourself out of it. Like you don't have to be with me. I'm not like begging for you to,
But
to
let's
stay.
also say that we have part in it too because we shouldn't be allowing it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
when I tell you and I be like, Brenna, I think I have allowed too much time. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? When we had those conversations,
Yeah.
like I've allowed this so much
Right.
that it comes to like, okay, you need to look at yourself in the mirror.
Right.
Because if you're allowing all these things, what do you expect?
Yep.
I finally realized that crumbs were not enough for me. So I walked away.
Right.
Um, and I gave excuses.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm guilty of that.
Yes. Yeah.
I gave excuses for his breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
I was like, well, he's busy or he's working or he's probably doing something important, and he'll get back to me or whatever the case may be. But that wasn't the case.
No.
I was actually blinding myself to what it really was.
Mm.
And a lot of women are content and consistent with man that breadcrumb. We are willing to give it all to a man that gives nothing, bits and pieces back.
Right. Right. And that's I mean that's unacceptable. Like that should be a standard that you have set for yourself. That should be a bar that you've set for yourself. Like, if I'm here, then we got to meet, at the same point. I can't be here and you're down here, with your energy level and with your what you're bringing into the situation. And when you accept the behavior, when you, just like you, I made excuses for it. I was like, oh, like, he's busy, whatever, whatever. So, or there was traffic or whatever. Like, I just, would try to find a reason to not accept the truth that was hitting me in my face, which was, this dude is really not into me. He's not really into me, because if he was really into me, he would be giving me different energy. And why am I allowing this and saying, like, it's okay for you to treat me this way, and then accept your behavior by accepting your times of love bombs and all of that, and then continuing to frustrate and upset myself that I've allowed to remain in a situation. He's fine because he's got what he wants, which is his access to me when he feels like he wants to have the access. But the minute I made myself unavailable and I was no longer willing to give that access, oh, he worked real, real hard to get that access back. But that's when you got to cut it off. You
Of
got,
course. And the reason I know this, and I know people are asking, well, how do you know men actually really do this? Oh, I had a man that really he was clear about it when it all hit the fan.
yeah,
So he actually admitted that this type that they got with my type of women, like me, because they can get away with it.
right,
So many women are vulnerable to these type of behaviors in man. And we're humans.
right,
We're humans, sometimes we'll have two types of men sitting right in our face. Ones that is giving us piece by piece, and we're like, for some reason, we're turned on about this toxic behavior. And it's human like, I know it happens. That's why we're talking about it today. It's human like, some people are really turned on about these type of behaviors, because let's be clear, if you had a good man that was actually giving you his time, and he really do be busy, but he go out his way just to call you and text you during the day,
right,
and nighttime make sure that he tells you good night.
right.
But some women look at these men as, oh, he is giving too easy, like it's not a challenge to them.
Listen,
But
that
this is the man that's really going to treat you right.
right. This is
What
the
you've been asking from the other man who have toxic behaviors.
Right. This is the thing. Why do you want to
He's got
why do you want to ride on the struggle bus that's got to go, from one side of the country to the other side of the country? It's going to take you 16 hours to get there. When you can fly private first class, be there in an hour and a half, boom, you done. Why do we allow ourselves to go through these struggle relationships and these struggle situationships, accepting these little bits and pieces of what people think is enough for us to offer? Like, if you really think like, if that's your best and final that you want to offer me, no thank you. I'm not.
and if you're giving and giving and you're not getting nothing back, and everything that you get back is in bits and pieces, if this happens early on before you even start a serious relationship with this person, what makes us think that this person is going to all of a sudden give us everything while we're in a relationship with them? Because you're already giving it to them before you even get in a relationship with them.
We delusional like that. We delusional like that sometimes. I just saw Krishan. She's got blue face tatted on her face, and I was like, "What?" I was looking at it when I was in the car, like while we were riding back, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this girl and what she has gone through, and the toxicity of this relationship." And you can look, and we can follow it on social media, the breadcrumbs that he's left this girl, and she's been willing to take it, and she's accepted it, and she's accepted it, and she's accepted it, and she's accepted it. And we thought, okay, she's done, she moved on, she learned her lesson, she was young. We all make mistakes when we're young, and we think that we're in love, but really we're
Well,
not.
some of us tend to believe that we're going to get more out of a person if they marry us or for say get move in with us. I mean,
No,
we're doing all of these things before any real commitment comes into play.
right,
So if you already accepted my breadcrumbs
right.
early on,
What's gonna
what is gonna make me say, oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna do better.
right,
I'm gonna do more.
right. There's
That's
nothing.
not a it's not a challenge there.
No, there's no motivation.
There's
Why
no
do why do
challenge.
I have to work? Why do I have to work hard? I don't. I'm getting the rewards. I'm reaping the benefits of what I want, which is her time when I want her time, which is her emotional connection when I want her emotional connection, which is her physical connection when I want her physical connection. But I'm not matching the energy that she's giving me. I'm just out here doing what I want to do.
So now you're still in a relationship with somebody after 16 years and they have not married you.
Years. I mean, years and years
20 years.
years and years and
High
years.
school sweethearts.
And and nothing against people that are in long-term relationships that decide to live together, and for whatever reason they decide that marriage is just not for them, that they just don't want to be married. That is okay. It's fine. Like, marriage is not an institution for everyone. It's not, just
It's not, but if that's what you're
a,
wanting and
but
you're aspiring,
but right,
then
if you're
you need to
want
make that clear from the
right,
start.
right, if you're wanting it, and that's something that you're striving for, or that's your goal, you're not going to sit around for no 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years waiting for that person to marry you. But if they're breadcrumbing you, oh, let's wait a year. Okay. And you agree to that plan when that year is up. What's up? Where's my proposal? Like, where's my ring? What's happening?
I'm
What's
sorry, it's just not a good mentality for me. And the reason I can say this today is because I've been through it.
Yeah,
So I've been the one accepting the breadcrumbs.
yeah.
But see, I know also that it plays a major role in myself
Mm,
because I stayed longer than I should have.
right. But that was up to you to recognize, and like you said, do some revelation, and have things be revealed to you about your worth, and knowing what your standard is, and knowing what your expectations are. And as you enter into the world of being in a new situation, or being in a new relationship after the last long-term one, then you guys are should be having communication that is putting you both on the same page, and you should be able to clear up any misunderstandings, about expectations, or the goals of the relationship. Like, you shouldn't be in the dark. You
Exactly.
shouldn't be blinded.
And these people, they disappeared and reappeared and disappeared and reappeared in your life whenever they want to.
Right,
And you're taking them back.
right.
You're taking them back.
You're
So I just wanted
letting
people to understand, and this is not to bash anyone or anything. I mean, everybody has who they like, who they want to be with, and that's all good. But sometimes as women, we do put ourselves in positions to hurt our damn self.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
And we have to, be receptive to that type of feedback, because you cannot just go your whole life blaming someone else for giving you bits and pieces of what you don't desire,
Hmm.
but you're still there.
Right.
Why are you still there?
Yep. That's a
That's
tough.
my question. Why are you still there? Because the reason
That's a question.
I try to still be there is because I actually thought, oh, if I do this or if I do that, he's probably going to change, or he's probably going to give me a different,
Yeah.
I'm going to reciprocate something else from him, or I don't know what I was thinking. But you
Right.
cannot change a man. You cannot raise the man. He's already raised.
Right.
And you can't change him because you literally accepted everything that came with him while y'all was just talking.
Right.
Now you want a relationship and you're expecting more. Let When people reveal themselves to them, to you,
To you.
believe them.
Yes. When they show you who they
Believe
are,
them.
believe
When
them.
they show you, of course, everything is going to be beautiful in the beginning. Of
Yeah.
course, I'm calling you every day. What's up, babe? How you doing?
Right. Right.
Like 24, I'm sending those texts
Yeah.
and everything. But because that's that person trying to win you over. And don't think that these type of people have not been practicing this.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Why you think Miss and Miss did
Mm.
not stay?
Right.
Because obviously these are type of behaviors that have been practiced by people, and they get so good at it
Mhm.
that you literally think that they really want you, but oh, he really want me, but he could do better.
Right.
He gonna do better. He just need a little bit of time. He got a pass. um
Right.
we
He
blaming
got
on
mama.
mommy and daddy. Oh,
He got
didn't
mom.
have a mommy or daddy, didn't know how to love.
Yeah, we got to stop
How
making.
many people did he say this to?
Yeah, and we got to stop making excuses for these people when they're leaving us these breadcrumbs. Stop making excuses for this bad behavior,
Okay.
and for yourself, you know, don't allow it to go on. Like, don't allow it to continue. Put your damn foot down and put a stop to it, and don't give this person access to you any further. You can no longer have access to my life.
This person will literally disappear and reappear in my life. And whenever he wanted to,
Yeah.
you know, whenever he felt like it. And I kept on with the boo. Ladies, you would never feel complete in your life as a woman, um, messing around with men who display this toxic behavior.
Yeah.
It's like you're always going to give more, and
Mm.
you're not going to be content. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be heartbroken. You're going to be crying about it. You're going to be questioning yourself. You know how many times I've questioned myself in the past?
Yeah. It's very damaging.
Thinking it was me, thinking it was something wrong with me.
Very damaging. Very, very damaging.
This can really damage you. And I'm not speaking this to bash anyone, like I said. It's more for the ladies to kind of, because some of us need this conversation.
Right.
I needed this kind of conversation, because if I would have had it back then
Yeah.
maybe
Yes.
I could have got out a lot sooner.
Exactly.
But I
Exactly.
was not able. I closed myself to the world.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have nobody um giving me this type of conversation
Right.
about what it was that I was doing, because
Mhm.
I was doing something. I
Right.
was allowing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, when you're in a situation like that with this whole breadcrumbing experience, it's very isolating. And it's isolating, I say, because when you start getting into that mode of like questioning yourself, you're filled with a lot of self-doubt, um,
Hmm.
a lot of insecurity, or at least in my experience, that's how I was feeling and what I was going through. And so feeling that way really kind of kept me a little more to myself than being outward and being expressive and like sharing what I was going on, because I was very conflicted. I was really, really, really conflicted. And the whole time I'm thinking that it's me, that that I need to be doing more. I need to be putting more into this relationship. And so, that behavior was very isolating. And so it
It's
left,
questioning yourself or who you were
yes, it left me feeling.
versus your behavior.
Yep, it left me feeling just so confused and so unclear about what the hell is going on. Like, does he want to be with me or does he not want to be with me? I thought he wanted to be with me. He acted like he wanted to be with me, but then he went and he did this shit, and now I don't think he wants to be with me. And
And
this,
these people know that. They
yeah,
know that. They're experts at that.
yeah,
They're experts. They know that if they can make you question yourself, then that brings your self-esteem down as
exactly,
a person. So
exactly.
now you have to come down a couple of notches to meet this person.
Hmm.
Why? Why should you?
You shouldn't. But like you were saying, I wish that there was somebody that was there to have a conversation with me, or I shouldn't have been working so hard to make a go of this relationship and this whole situation, and maybe had more of a closer bonds with my girlfriends at the time, instead of being so focused on the relationship and trying to build something with this person, taken a step back and really looked at, why am I working so hard to try to gain this person's attention and affection? Why am I measuring my worth by whether or not they want to be in a serious relationship with me? And once I got out of that mode, things for me really started to change. And a huge part of that change came from stopping the access. I mean, we could go be on and off, on and off, on this week, off next week, on today, off tomorrow. I mean, the back and forth was just crazy. It was dizzying. So it's like watching Krishan go through what she's going through, and just falling apart all over social media. It's really sad. Like, I really wish somebody would sit her down and have a conversation with her about, her self-worth. And, now she has an important role, as being a mother. You're a mother now. You're in this new category and a new aspect of being a woman, where you didn't have to be responsible for anybody but yourself. Now you have somebody else to be responsible for. You have to be able to start making good decisions for yourself. And making good decisions for yourself are choosing the right people to be around you and to be in your life, and and who can have access to you.
And we get full time. Wow, these type of people only work when they feel like it's necessary.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a person call you, for example, and say, "Hey, babe, what you doing? Yeah, okay. Can you do this for me?" But that's the only phone call you get
Mm-hmm.
when they need something.
Yep.
But you're not calling me and ask me how I'm doing, how my day been, what I did today. You know,
Work.
and like,
Yeah.
you see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're only calling me when you need something because you know that I'm giving it all anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm good for.
Yeah. let me reach out to her because she'll do it. She'll
Exactly.
accept this behavior. She's not one that is strong enough to stand up on her own 2 feet and be like, nah, this is bullshit, and call me out on my shit and put an end to me and my breadcrumbing career with her. Let me move on to somebody else and see if I can try it over that way.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 months go by, and you'll notice people start doing that after they lock you in. They know that you're emotionally attached to them because
Oh, yeah.
they know. It's not like they don't know. They
Oh,
know.
they know.
Some of these people even go back to saying, oh, you know what I'm saying? All these women left me. They did me wrong. All these men left me, did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And just feed that story into every relationship they go into.
Hmm.
Just tell me you never gonna leave me. You're not gonna do me like they did me.
Right. And I mean that comes from, people that have trauma and have, abandonment issues are more likely to be susceptible to falling into the pattern of accepting breadcrumbs from people.
Yeah.
You have a fear of, somebody not wanting to be with you. You think that that person is going to leave you. You don't want by any means that person to leave you. So you're going to put it all out there, for them and give them everything, give them all your worth, show them all your worth for them to value it, respect it, and appreciate it because it's my gift to you. And here they are playing with it.
And this is where boundaries become very important because people think that we should only set boundaries for other people. No, we need to set boundaries for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Because if you have boundaries set for yourself, can't nobody come in and play with you.
Right.
But if you are just a person that doesn't want to set any boundaries and is kind of open, then pretty much people are going to run over you
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're inviting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I kept saying, you know what, you're gonna have to change these behaviors. And I know he was thinking like, for what? I
Right.
already you ain't going nowhere.
Right. Yeah. I
I
already
know he was saying that.
yeah. I already got you.
I already got you. You ain't going nowhere. You have already accepted everything that I did already.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I have to change?
Right. For what?
It
Change.
seemed to me like you like it.
Right. Change for what?
Exactly. Um, and he was right. I mean, so I did. You know what I learned from it, and I don't take it as the worst thing in the world,
Mm-hmm.
but I do take it as a lesson learned because I did just what I said I was gonna do, which was walk away,
Right.
and I kept repeating it every time we had a conversation, every time, you know um we would sit down and have a conversation. I kept repeating it. You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're not showing change in behavior. I'm not trying to change who you are. I just want to see more.
Right.
I didn't get that.
Right.
But I made sure that every time I said that, I said, one day I'm gonna walk away.
Right.
It's gonna be over.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that now, in the age that I am and in the stage of my life where I'm at, that those things no longer excited me.
Right. And
You know,
when you were done, you were done. When you had reached that decision and made that commitment, back to yourself, I'm not going to put up with this no more. That was it. I mean, you were done. It wasn't this big heartbreaking,
no, it
painstaking
wasn't.
moment of, oh my
Not
god,
for me. It
not going
was
to be a person anymore. You were just like, I'm just done. And that's when That's when you know that a person is truly, truly, truly finished with you. When they are like, that's it, and I'm going to go about my business. I have no interest in what you're doing in your life. I have no interest in keeping tabs on what you're doing. I'm not following you on social media. I'm not seeing what you're posting. I'm not seeing where you're at, what you're doing. I don't care.
And
Just,
some of us think, why is this person keep cheating on me?
yeah,
Why is this person keep cheating on me? Well, the answer is very clear, because you have said, you know what? It's good,
right.
and then we'll be in the bed the next day.
Right. Oh my goodness.
We'll be in the bed the next day.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
why.
And they
That's
know.
it's a very simple answer.
Hmm.
You know, it's not complicated. You know, so when you cheat again, you ask the same question,
Right.
but we ask the same question to do the same thing tomorrow.
Right. We're just repeating right now at this point. We're repeating and we're allowing a certain cycle of behaviors to continue. We're not doing any damage control. We're not doing any growing. We're not doing any positive manifesting. We're not doing any of that.
So
We
let me ask you this question: when you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're not getting different results, what does that mean? You're driving yourself insane.
self insane. Yeah.
You know, we're driving ourselves insane.
Banging your head into a concrete or brick wall over and over and over and over again. Like you didn't get it this time. You didn't get it this
Wait,
time.
do it again.
You didn't get it this time. You didn't get it this time. You didn't get it that time. How about this time? How about that time? No, it's like why do you keep like why do you keep
It's a repeat pattern.
why
You're
and why do
repeating
you
the same pattern.
go through that? That's when you gotta be like, stop. Like,
That's a lot, because that's a lot, especially for a person that's not really strong minded. And when I say strong minded, I'm not trying to bring anybody down who isn't, because there was a time in my life where I wasn't, you know,
right.
I wasn't strong minded. You know, I let things get to me. I brought myself down. I didn't think I was pretty enough. I didn't think I was,
Yeah,
worthy enough. This is all of the things that I felt on my own,
yeah,
but it came from the product of what I was accepting,
right.
and like I said, these people know that they're doing this to you.
Yeah.
With so much that in my previous relationship, he told me, look at yourself in the mirror. Who gonna want you?
Mm.
So if a man is really bringing you down mentally,
He's not only breadcrumbing, he's gaslighting at the same time.
and exactly, and will love bomb too, but
Oh,
these are narcissistic behaviors as well, because you would expect narcissistic behaviors, especially when it comes from this type of, this breadcrumbing, because yeah, people that breadcrumb, they have narcissistic behaviors.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, to the way I look at it and I'm seeing it, I mean, that's the conclusion I came up with, but that's my opinion. I had to see my own value, um, to even notice myself and say, hey, what are you doing here?
right.
Why are you willing to put yourself down, lower your standards, lower your value as a woman for someone that doesn't even value you and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't see that in you?
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted the relationship so bad to work.
Right.
And this is where we make the mistake.
Right.
This is where we make a mistake. Like, but we're supposed to learn from it. That's the point. That's why we're having this conversation today.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. It's very difficult when you're in this type of situation, if you're in a, like you said, if you're not in a stronger mindset, you are more susceptible to fall into this pattern of behavior until you've acknowledged and you've done your work on yourself and you realize that no, this isn't acceptable. I deserve more than this. I deserve better than this. And that's, and if you've gone through it, and you've experienced it, that's okay. I mean, like you said, we're built a certain way. We want a certain type of, companionship that's just in our nature as who we are and people. And some of us are just so quick to want to go all in, and oh, he's good, he looks good, he got a good job, he's smart, he's funny, and da 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 da, and he's got all these good qualities, and you're already like mapping out your future, but y'all not even on the same page as to what are y'all really doing. Are you just dating like casually? Are you still seeing other people? Is he still seeing other people? But you got people out here that have themselves in whole relationships with people, and that whole relationship is one sided.
Oh, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
one sided.
Yeah. And being with people like this, they will never respect you.
No.
It's sad to say, but it's the truth.
Right.
Because you're okay. You're
Yeah.
you're okay with them breadcrumbing you. We as people have to understand that we are not here to mother or be a dad for anybody.
Right.
Um, these toxic behaviors come from some men, some women. Um, we be like, oh, he or she was candid at first,
Right.
and then, you know, they wanted to be around you
Right.
every day, every minute, every hour. But of course, people are going to do that because they are trying to get you.
Right.
They done this millions of times
Mhm.
already. Not millions, but I
Right.
exaggerate a little bit, but
Right.
you know, they've done this. They
This is
know what to do
not,
to love bomb you. They
not
give
their
you
first
some
rodeo.
roses.
Yeah.
And you be like, oh, but we have good times together too. But sometimes you can't even see the good times because the bad times and the horrible times outweigh any good that they would ever do.
And just talking about it just reminds me of the feeling that I was experiencing while going through it, and just really how little I thought that I was worth.
Mhm.
That was like a
And
really
it shouldn't feel like that.
and that was like a really hard thing to, to process. But when I recognized and realized that, hey, like this doesn't have anything to do with me. This isn't a reflection of who I am as a person. This is on you over here.
Mhm.
This is
And some people be like, well, he wasn't like this in the beginning. Of course.
no,
Of
because
course.
people,
It's gonna be like that in the beginning.
they
Am
always
I
think
gonna tell you I'm a toxic person in the beginning?
no.
Am I gonna tell you all the bad things? I mean, let's just speak in reality.
Right.
Who is gonna come out to you and tell you how they are for real in the beginning when they're trying to get you?
Right. Right.
Where they're trying to, you know, court you, whatever. Maybe not even court. Some people, listen, some people just want to court you just to have somebody and say they have somebody.
Yes.
It don't even be really about that they really care about you or they really want you in that state. You know, let's leave money out of it because I'm talking about emotions.
Right.
Like, who's gonna come out in the beginning and tell you exactly who they are?
Nobody. That's why you have to pay very close attention to people when they start when they start revealing themselves. When they're revealing themselves to you, you need to pay attention. You need to be aware. You need to be like, okay, check. Okay, check, check. Okay, check, 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 check. Okay, hold on a second. Let me rethink this whole situation that I have set up and I have going on here, because it's not, the math is not mathing. Stuff's not adding up the way that it's supposed to
Yeah,
be.
because you get to see that person for who they really are after the fact
Right.
that you're already in that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Somebody, Misha said, I do. I put it all out there, so there's no surprises. Yeah, some, but you can't say everything.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't have time.
Yeah.
It requires still time
It
for you
does.
to get to know that person. And if you're an honest person, and you could tell somebody at the beginning what you really like and your toxic behaviors and stuff like that, that's a very good quality of you. But
Yeah.
it's still going to require that time,
An experience.
um that experience. And I'm not saying that people just come out and lie about it. No, some people don't. Some
Right.
people be real in the beginning,
Yep.
but it does require time for you to get that to know that person more and more and more.
Mm.
But when you see those little red flags and you're not paying attention to it, then we could go through some hurt and pain, and we start to blame ourselves. Um,
Right.
the key is to learn from the experience.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. You know, it's not you, it's the behavior.
Right.
If you're expressing this behavior, then you need to ask yourself, how can I change this behavior? Not change myself,
Right.
but change the behavior.
Yeah.
Because if you go through life thinking that you can love bomb every woman, you gonna end up probably with nobody that really, you know what I'm saying, with nobody.
Right.
Because you have been on hurt all these women, or you'll be done hurt all these men. For what exactly? Because you don't even get what you want at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Very unsatisfying to be in that type of scenario and that type of situation. And if you're a person that subscribes to this behavior, I'm going to say, I don't know how else to put it, but I'm going to say subscribes to this behavior, meaning that this is one of your characteristics, is if you're a known breadcrumber, then you really need to take a good, hard, deep dive into yourself and figure out what it is within you that makes you think that you have the ability or should have the ability to control someone else's emotions and how someone else is going to feel about you, because you think that you can. So if you're constantly finding yourself in situations and you know that you're a breadcrumber and you're a chronic breadcrumber, no relationship you've ever been in has ever worked out. Okay, we all know that things happen, not everything works out.
but
People
look at your behavior.
Right, people end things. A lot of times people end things on a great note that
And sometimes you can hurt the person who was, you know what I'm saying, who could have been your everything.
right. Yep.
Misha Dawson said, if you know what you want, you should share that so that no time, get wasted on trying to figure out what we both want in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in being upfront and being honest. If you know what you want, and you're with a partner that you can have that dialogue with and have those conversations with, by all means, have them.
Yes, because it's very important.
It's important and
Um,
it's healthy.
and but some people lie to you too,
Right.
and that's the thing. Um, they'll lie because they've done it so many times,
Mm,
and they're so handsome, and they claim they can. You know what I'm saying? They done did this a couple of times. They done practice and practice and practice that they'll love bomb a woman just to get her to be, you know, in that emotional state. So now they got you, and now they don't have to give you everything.
right.
So they throw you breadcrumbs just to feed you and keep you around.
Mm,
And that, to me, that's just wasting people's time.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I look at it. Is
It's very, sorry, it's very disrespectful, and
mm,
it's wasting people's time
it's rude.
when you can actually be out here with somebody else who really do care about you. But let's be honest, most of the time we overlook those people.
Hmm. Yeah, because a lot of times, especially when you're younger,
Hmm.
look for certain qualities and certain characteristics. He's got to hit certain marks or whatever, whatever, and have X, Y, and Z. And if
Hmm.
he has X, Y, and Z and he looks good on paper, then you're like, okay, boom, bam, it's a go. Green lights. He's been green lit. All right, we are good. We got this thing. But the person that is really gonna match your energy and match your behavior, you don't give them the time of day, or you don't give them a chance, or you overlook them.
Yeah, because you think it's stalkerish that they're calling you or texting you
Right.
when it's really like sweet. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like,
Enduring.
it's
It's
sweet that he even take the time out of his day to call me, and I know that he worked, and I know that he has stuff going on.
right.
Like, to me, that's not stalkerish to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's, just being really concerned about me and giving me the time that I need.
And being
Showing
consistent.
me that he really care about me.
Being consistent. Yep. Being consistent, showing that he cares.
But a
And
person, for
I-
some reason, that you be like, hold up, he ain't text me yet. I just text him. Like, oh, you still, oh, okay, I see he playing hard to get, or she playing hard to get. And for some odd reason, this turn us, well, not turn me on, because it definitely don't turn me on no more.
right.
But for some reason, it turned humans on.
Right. Because it's the chase. It's the act of the chase. It's the nature of the game. It's the thrill of the hunt. So
But this is a big toxic behavior that you need to be aware of. Not
yeah,
just from that person, but from yourself too. Because if that's something that you're needing and wanting, that's scary.
yeah, yeah.
Because you really could get yourself into a situation where you would be totally heartbroken. For real, like, seriously.
Oh yeah. And you got to be careful, because the longer that the behavior goes on, the longer that you stay in the cycle of things happening that shouldn't be happening, and you accepting these behaviors and things like that, the more toxic it becomes, and that toxicity will like build up to a level until it's on full on like explode mode, and
Exactly.
then you're just having to do damage control all over the place, all over the place. Everything is just so
So if
damaging.
you're that person who want a serious relationship, you are trying to get married and your purpose is not to be with a man who's with a whole bunch of other women, then you should pay attention to these signs
Absolutely.
because they're serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? I went through it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people went through it. A
Yeah.
lot of women, a lot of men too.
Yeah.
So um yeah, the good moments should always overlook the bad moments.
Right.
Um because if not, you'll just be causing yourself heartbreak and pain,
Yeah.
you know?
And the more we can do for ourselves to cut down on the level of pain and trauma that we expose ourselves to, the better off that we'll be. The world will be a kinder, gentler place. You'll have less pissed off people walking around here because it's
He
not.
said some people say they want something until they get it and then realize that's not what they wanted because they really don't know what they want.
No, yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, if you thought that you wanted something, right? You think that you want it, so you go into it thinking that this is what you want. When you come to the realization and recognize, oh no, this is not what I want. But it's not only that it's not what you want, but you don't know what you want.
So when people realize that they don't know what they want, Brenda, why are they still there?
That's what I'm saying. That's when you need to exit stage left, because if I'm not what you want, but you don't know what you want yet, you haven't figured it out yet, you don't have no business trying to put nothing together with nobody. Figure
Yeah,
yourself first. So
figure
that
yourself first. Yeah. Like
identify what it
you
is.
have to.
Yeah.
And me, for example, I'm not going to waste my time with nobody else. Like, lesson learned, you know? I'm not going to waste my time with anyone else. I am not, because no, no, I'm a giver. So when I come into a relationship with somebody who I really care about, it's like I put it all in,
Right.
you know, but I need to get that same energy back. Like, if we don't have that same energy, then you're right. No,
Hmm.
where is it going to go?
And it's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to be like, you know what? This isn't working for me. Or, because you'll have the people that thought that they wanted it, right? They thought
Hmm.
that that's what they wanted, but then they kind of feel like you're not what they want, but they don't really know what they want. So they'll still hang on to you because they're going to reap the benefits of being able to get your time and attention and get their needs met while they're in their own mind trying to figure out what it is that they want. Like,
That's
don't
it. That's what I'm saying about the cheating.
yeah,
Like,
don't
better sit here and cheat with 15 other women, you know what I'm saying, on you. And then you're like, okay, whatever. But you make this whole big fuss, cry, um, stress yourself out. But then at nighttime, y'all back in the bed.
yeah.
So at this point, you're accepting the bull crap that he is putting you through.
Hmm.
If you're into that, if you're into, you not sharing your man with other women. I know some people are into sharing their man. I'm
Right.
not into it. I don't care for it.
Right.
And that's one of my main things. Like, if you want that, then you could be by yourself.
Right.
And I could be by myself too.
Yep. I can do fine by myself. I'm good on that. I don't need to share you and make myself feel any more less worthy by having to then share you with somebody else. What I look like.
I'm not that type.
What
So that's not what turns me on. That's not what I expect from. my man that's not, just like my man wouldn't expect that from me
Mhm.
to have be cheating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It worked the same.
Right.
Do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, my final thoughts would just be that it's really okay to say no and to walk away from a situation that is not conducive to you being in a peaceful place with yourself. Don't stay in a situation because you feel like you don't have any other options or nobody's going to want you or anything like that. Like, don't allow those negative thoughts to fill your mind and keep you from leaving something behind you so that you don't carry it with you for longer than you should have. Because we're speaking from experience of staying in something longer than we should have when we should have gotten out years and years prior to the situation and we didn't. So, like you said, lesson learned. That would be my advice. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to walk away from a situation that is not conducive to you being in a peaceful place.
That's right. And I have a final thought. Do not breadcrumb yourself.
There you go. There you go.
You're worth so much more. And you got somebody out there that is willing to give you everything.
Hmm.
That you don't have to
Right.
pick the pieces up,
Right.
like bird,
Like birds. Yep.
you know. Don't breadcrumb yourself.
Yeah. Don't do. Bye, y'all.
Bye. I'll see you next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Peace out.